Hi students, welcome to our very first lesson of week 9. From this week on, we are starting a new unit called Myths and Fables. So this unit is all about myths, legends, fables, and different types of stories. Now let's start. So mythical creatures, as you can see from the picture, this type of unreal creatures are called mythical creatures. They are not real. They don't exist in real life. So firstly, let's look at what is a myth. Speaking of mythical creatures and different stories. So myth, in the long form, mythology is the rich collection of traditional tales called myths from cultures all over the world. Many myths date back to ancient times. They are stories about how the world was created and why certain things happen. Today, the word myth is often used to describe something that is not true. But a myth is not just a made-up story. Myths tell of gods, heroes, and events that a group of people or community believes, or at one time believed to be real. A culture's myths are often closely tied to its religion. Not only religion, it also closely related to their cultures and lifestyle. So now you know what is a myth. It's kind of, in short, you could say it's a made-up story, usually in the past time, in the ancient times. And it's about gods, heroes, and other stories that people in the past, they used to believe it. Now it's called myths, and people know that it's not real at all. And now let's find about more background of myth. Why people make this kind of made-up story? What was the reason? So the reason is, thousands of years ago, people did not have the sciences to help them understand life, like today. For instance, they did not know why the sun rises each morning or why the seasons change. Ancient people saw sickness, death, and natural disasters, but they did not understand what caused them. Groups of people developed their own stories and beliefs to explain the world around them. These stories were usually not written down. Instead, they were part of an oral tradition, meaning they were passed from one generation to another by telling them out loud as stories. So in short, you can understand that why people start telling myths and different kind of unreal stories, simply because they did not know why some things happen, why sun rises, why seasons change, why people die, why we get sick. That's why they make up their own version of the story and tell their children, their children tell their offsprings, next generations, and to generation, it passes to generation, and here they are now. Today we call them as myths. So now you know what you can describe what myth is and why people started telling myths. Now let's move on. Let's look at some examples of myths and especially mythical creatures that's been told in stories. So from this picture, you can see 3 different mythical creatures. First one is centaur, second one is flying horse, and dragon. Now let's find out for each one what stories they've been included in and how do we call them in stories? So this man, this creature with man body and horse legs, kind of, it's called centaur. A centaur was a creature from Greek mythology, which was half man and half horse. And his upper body is human and lower body is horse. The head, arms, and torso were human and joined at the waist to the body and legs of a horse, as explained. So next creature is Pegasus. Pegasus was a flying horse. He was the son of Poseidon. I'm not sure about the pronunciation of this name. So the Lord of the Sea. So he was the son of the Lord of the Sea. His mother was the dreadful monster Medusa. She had snakes for her hair and hated everyone, including her son Pegasus. So flying horse is called Pegasus. And next one is dragon. The dragon is a legendary animal similar to a huge lizard or snake that appears in stories and art from all over the world. Dragons typically are portrayed as having scaly skin, a powerful jaw with sharp teeth, 4 legs with long claws, and a long tail. Horns, spikes, and bat-like wings also may sprout from their body. So this is the definition of dragons. Now, we've learned, to sum up today's lesson, we've learned what myth is about and why it's been created and who and how it's been created. And we had a look at some of the example mythical creatures. Now, it's your turn to work on your homework. So your homework is to work on your activity book. Page number 64, there you can find 3 different types of mythical creatures. So you can read about them and find out what kind of characteristics they have and what kind of myths they are in and their stories. And following the next page, page 65, you can find exercise 2 directly related to the reading text that you've just done, okay? So this is your today's homework. Good luck with your homework. We will see you guys in the next lesson. Goodbye.